We all know who Christian McCaffrey is. We all know how much of a beast he is with the ball in his hands and how he's one of the best playmakers in the league. But did you know his dad Ed McCaffrey played for the NFL? Okay, you probably did. But did you know that his dad played for 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan's dad, Mike Shanahan, and also played alongside a current 49ers coach? And get this, there's a current 49ers coach that coached Ed McCaffrey when Ed played for the Broncos. I know, it's a lot. But before we talk about those coaches, let's talk about the McCaffreys and Shanahans. Christian McCaffrey's father, Ed, and mother, Lisa, both went to Stanford, where Ed was a stud first-team All-American wide receiver, and Lisa was an outstanding soccer player. Did I mention the now 49er ties started when Ed was in Stanford? While playing there, Ed played with none other than his son's current general manager, John Lynch. Lynch's link to Ed McCaffrey was probably more motivating to him to trade for Christian than the ties McCaffrey's had with the Shanahans. I'm just playing. But we do know Lynch loves his Stanford guys. Ed McCaffrey played on the 49ers in 1994, where he won his first Super Bowl ring. This is during the time Mike Shanahan was the offensive coordinator for the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan was the ball boy for the team. Mike was the 49ers offensive coordinator from 1992 to 1994, where he then moved on to become the head coach for the Denver Broncos from 1995 to 2008. Ed McCaffrey came with Mike Shanahan and played for the Broncos from 1995 to 2003. Mike and Ed ended up winning 3 Super Bowls together, the one in San Francisco and the other 2 being back-to-back in 1997 and 1998 for Denver. Christian McCaffrey was born in 1996, and it's been confirmed by Kyle Shanahan that him and his sister used to even babysit Christian. The current 49ers coaches I mentioned earlier were assistant head coach Anthony Lynn and running backs coach Bobby Turner. Anthony Lynn played alongside Ed McCaffrey in Denver, and Bobby Turner was one of their Broncos coaches.
About going out to San Francisco, Mike Shanahan coached me. Kyle was the ball boy. Kyle is now coaching Christian. Kyle babysat Christian once. Well, really, it was Crystal, his sister, that did the babysitting. But, I played football with John Lynch out there. Anthony Lynn was a teammate of mine, and Bobby Turner was a running backs coach. So when we say kind of going back to family, going back to California, I mean, man, it feels like we're going home. Lisa and I both went to Stanford in the Bay Area. So aside from the technical football part of the game, I mean, this feels like we're going back home.
There are so many cool little stories and facts about this unique full circle story. Another story is that in college, Kyle Shanahan wore number 87 in tribute to Ed McCaffrey and pretty much modeled his game around him.
Ed McCaffrey. You know, people know him in Denver, obviously winning the back-to-back Super Bowls with your dad, but he also won a Super Bowl here in '94 when your dad was the offensive coordinator. So he was your guy. When you grew up, you were saying, I want to be the next Ed McCaffrey?
I mean, I needed someone to give me some hope, and it was him, Rod Smith. I mean, those were my 2 guys that I was the closest with. I moved to receiver my sophomore year in high school, so I was always trying to watch those 2, and I always admired them so much because I remember my dad brought Ed from the practice squad when he left San Francisco to go there. Rod Smith was already on the practice squad in Denver, where he was the first year. They had 2 first-round picks in Anthony Miller and Mike Pritchard, who started there my dad's first year. And I remember the next year, him cutting both of those guys. And I'm like, well, who are we going to play at wideout? And he's like, Rod and Ed. I'm like, those guys were on practice squad last year and the year before. Like, how are they going right away? And he's like, no, they're pretty good. You'll see. And then from then on, they both played the next 10 years. And just watching how good of football players they were. I mean, they were my heroes. So I became close with them, and that's who I tried to be like.
On October 20th, 2022, the 49ers traded for Christian McCaffrey. With McCaffrey's insane ability to catch and run with the ball as a running back, paired with Shanahan's complex offense that relies on running backs making plays game in and game out, I think Christian McCaffrey may have found the place that is going to maximize his potential the most out of any team in the NFL.
With Kyle's mind, the way he can diagram runs and get him the ball, along with a Deebo Samuel, this could be something very, very special.
And tonight, the 49ers get the deal done to bring Christian McCaffrey back to the Bay Area.
Yeah, it's special, you know. I mean, you try to stay, as business as you can and one step at a time, but it is special, even just being back in the Bay Area where I've had so many great memories going back to Stanford. Having friends who are still here and knowing a lot of the guys in the locker room already. it all comes full circle, and yeah, it's special, and I'm lucky and proud to be here.
With only one game being under his belt after having the full playbook, Christian is looking scarier than ever, earning the first Triple Crown since LaDainian Tomlinson did it in 2005, which is a passing, rushing, and throwing touchdown all in the same game. Mike Shanahan and Ed McCaffrey won 3 Super Bowls together. Let's see what the kids can do.
McCaffrey behind the line, looking to throw it, airs it out, has Ayuk wide open, he's got it for the touchdown!
Look, I just flipped the switch.
McCaffrey, the touchdown pass to Ayuk from 34. What a dandy!
Body start to drop, hit the foot. Now they wanna know me since I hit the top. It's a rolling, not a stop. Watch shit don't never stop. It's the flow that got the block hot.
All the way up to midfield. That's a good start. Christian McCaffrey, first play.
I just took it left like on empty deck.
Pressure sees it. Throws to McCaffrey. He's got it for
Got
the
a sneaker deal and
touchdown.
I ain't break a sweat.
Wow.
Catch me cause I'm gone. I don't know. I go from 6 to 23 like I'm LeBron.
McCaffrey
Serving
right
up
up
a
again.
pack.
He's got a seam. Now it's
Niggas
to the
pulling
end zone.
gimmicks cause they scared of rap.
Diving into the end.
Funny how they shook.
No, down at the
Pulling back the curtain by myself.
And
Take a
he
look.
is
Hey,
in for
I'm a
the
boss hitter.
touchdown.
I'm a hard hitter. Yeah, I'm light skinned, but I'm still a
passing
dark nigga.
touchdown,
I'm
a
a weak.
receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown. LaDainian Tomlinson, last one to do that in 05.
It's a rolling, not a stop. Watch shit don't never stop.